Hello, 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 Alan here. How you doing? Welcome to a rainy night in Portland. I have my window open. Can you hear it? Yeah, good for reading, right? Very good for reading. This is a card my friend Roz at Scaladandaling About the Books sent me a couple years ago when we were reading um, Don Quixote, actually. She sent me a box. It was a few years ago. There's no date on it. Postcard of Camus, but I keep it with my copy of The Stranger, which is interesting. Another guillotine novel, you might say, in several ways. But I referenced that comment to I just finished Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin, and that was a guillotine novel at the end. You know, every story told long enough ends in death. Hemingway. You could compare this to uh, Hemingway. You see where Hemingway got some influence by the minimalist style. Now, Camus wouldn't like to hear you call this an existential novel, although Sartre really praised it. They had a falling out, apparently. I'm also, when I read this, I read it back in the 80s and then came across this copy at a book sale. And it was on my TBR for Read What You Own challenge because it's so thin. And I was waiting for the audio, and the audio finally showed up on my Libby app, so that's why I reread it. And I did read it too, and I can prove that because there's marginalia in here from the previous owner, who was a young adult. And it's funny because on page 35 of my edition, the Matthew Ward translation, there's a part right at the top of 35 where he meets, what's her name, Maria. She put her lips on mine. Her tongue cooled my lips, and we tumbled in the waves for a moment. Remember, they're on the beach, and you know, when we we'd gotten dressed again on the beach, Marie looked at me with her eyes sparkling. I kissed her, and there's a comment by this young adult. Was it a nude beach? You know, I would and underline tumbled in the waves for a moment. She didn't get the fact that they had made love, you know. Uh, but that's how subtle the writing is in here. Camus won the Nobel Prize for this thin tome. I also like the the Sisyphus, the myth of Sisyphus. I want to read that again. I was getting to it. Reminds me of Crime and Punishment, Dostoevsky. I recently read um, the Brothers Karamazov last year, um, Constant Garnett edition. I didn't read the new Cats. I want to when I reread the Brothers Karamazovs. Someday I'll read the Cats translation. Meanwhile, because you know there's both the murderers and this is you can't say it's absurd for sure. It's like one of the points Marceau is uh, if frequently, if not constantly, saying phrases like "that doesn't mean anything," uh, but that doesn't matter. It's not my fault. You know, finds himself in a murder, finds himself in being a murderer. Uh, is he innocent? Well, no, not my humble opinion. Tea time. but he didn't set out to murder. He didn't doesn't have murder in his heart, although he's got a different sort of attitude, uh, a kind of laissez-faire attitude of life. The famous opening line about my mom died today, or maybe, or yesterday, maybe, I don't know. I got a telegram from the home. Mother deceased, funeral tomorrow, faithfully yours. It doesn't mean anything. Maybe it was yesterday. My mom died today. That's French for like mommy. So throughout the novel, he calls his mother mommy. Mm. What else can I say about this big hard book? Many people, it's another one of those books you either love or you hate. Well, it's a classic in my eyes. Reread for me, I could read it again right now. It only takes a few hours. Oh, makes you think. A novel that stays with you. So if you want to talk about this, please make a comment below and we'll have a discussion. Tell me what you think. Like, subscribe. I'll get back to you. And also, I'd be remiss if I wouldn't tell you Roz and her daughter Tilly are going to be on the Monday Night Live show with Alan and Greg in a mere few days. So I'll see you there. Ta-ta.